My name is Darlene Carrigan. I am from Pelham, Alabama. I attend church at Westwood Baptist Church in Alabaster, Alabama. I'm at the Chin family at church at Westwood. August 2005, Katrina hit in Louisiana. The Chin family had lost everything they had. Mr. Chin, the father, worked for Moore Hanley, which was based out of Pelham. So they sent a truck to the Superdome and brought them back to Pelham, Alabama. Well, one of their co-workers went to church at Westwood, and they invited them to Westwood. And so at the end of the service, our pastor had asked them to come up front, and the whole church was asked to pray for this family. So they laid hands on them, prayed for them, but then we prayed for all the victims, all the families who were devastated by Katrina. So after it was over, my daughter Shelly, who was 14 at the time, said, "Hey Mom, I'm gonna go give them our phone number. They might need something." And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, there's nothing we can do for them. Little did I know. So then the third time she says, "All right, if you're not gonna give them our phone number, then you're gonna have to explain to God why I'm not gonna do it." And I just looked at her and I went, "Fine, go give them our phone number." And she did. So about 2 o'clock, the phone rings, and guess who it is? It's the Chin family. and I'm talking to them on the phone, and I said, "Well, what can we do for you?" Because my daughter had put me in this situation. And they said, "All we want is a hot meal." And what I did not know is that when they walked through my door that day, that we were going to be best friends forever. And after dinner, we had prayer, and we prayed, and we prayed. And Mr. Chin said, "Hey, Darlene, you got a keyboard?" And I said, "I do have a keyboard." He went, "Get that thing out." We ended up having revival in my living room that day. And he was singing Amazing Grace. We were all singing Amazing Grace. We were singing How Great Thou Art. And the revival just went on. And I could not tell you I don't know how long they were at my house, because once they walked through the door, it was like, that's what it took for me to get peace. So that is how I met the Chin family. During my time at school, I did a lot of work for the Family Care Center in Alabaster, which is part of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. And I fell in love with it. It's like I couldn't do enough for them. What the Family Care Center does is it's where it's a mom-safe place where she can live with her children, and each have their own unit. And I would go out there and volunteer. I got my Sunday school class to go out there and volunteer. And one day I just came home from work and told my husband, I said, before I retire, I would really love to work for the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. And he said, "Well, you should go for it." So that night, I just got online, and there just happened to be a job. And here I am today. I have been there a year. But if it wasn't for my daughter planting that seed in my heart that day, I would not be at the Alabama Baptist Children's Home today. Because I probably wouldn't have, when the Alabama Baptist Children's Home visited our church and was telling us about their programs and their needs, I would have probably heard it, but I probably would not have reacted. I would have prayed. It's like when the Chin family came up there, I had never, ever in my entire life met anybody who's lost everything. They had nothing. They lived in an attic for 2 days with her on insulin. They absolutely had nothing. And when they were in my living room that day, telling us the way they lived, what they saw, what they had to do without, and how God provided for her being a diabetic, I'm just like, I can't turn back now. I got to go out. I got to help more people. I've got to live on missions. I got to press on.